Hello everyone. In this today's video tutorial, we are going to discuss the second type of numericals based on unit of fluctuating load and fatigue stresses. The second type of numericals are meant for designing a machine part subjected to completely reverse stress and expected life is less than 10 raised to 6 cycles, that is less than 1 million cycles, that is infinite life. So expected life will be of finite number of cycles. So for such kind of examples, how to solve, that we are going to discuss today. Today's discussion will belong to course outcome CO number 3, where to investigate and determine fluctuating stress with respect to finite and infinite life of component under simple and combined loading conditions like transmission shafts using modified Goodman criteria. The main idea is here the expected life will be less than 10 raised to 6, 1 million revolutions, and so the life will be called as finite life. Whenever a machine part is subjected to completely reverse stress and expected life is finite one, at that time how to design or how to find out number of cycles. These are the two different possible numericals that may appear in your university examination, of which first type, to design a machine part subjected to fatigue loading and expected number of cycles are finite one, that we have already discussed in previous video tutorial. Now today's video tutorial, we are going to discuss how to find out life when a machine part is subjected to completely reverse loading, completely reverse stresses. At, at that time, what will be the life of the machine part? How to find that out? That we are going to discuss today with the help of one numerical. Now, again, as in previous video tutorial, here also we have to use the same formula, ut minus sf divided by ut minus sa is equal to ln minus 3 divided by 3. Here, a part of or abstract of Sn fatigue curve will be taken into account as specified here. We have already discussed this. Just to recall the things, let us repeat some terms again. F is the design point. Expected life of the machine part is n, so log n to base 10 is the x coordinate of this design point, and induced stress in the machine part sf, so log to base 10 of sf is the y coordinate of design point f. We must recall that it is the abstract of Sn fatigue curve. Actually, left hand side portion from point A, this much portion is removed, and only right hand side portion after the point A is taken into account of this Sn curve. S is the stress, N is the number of cycles. Sn curve, otherwise Sn represents signal to noise, but nothing to do with signal to noise ratio. In fatigue failure in fluctuating stress unit, Sn represents stress number of cycles graph. Here you should note that this Sn curve is plotted on log graph paper. Both the x and y axis are assumed on the basis of log to base 10. Point A is having x coordinate log to base 10 of 10 raised to 3, 1000. So log to base 10 of 10 raised to 3 is 3. That's why here just mention 3. Its y coordinate is log to base 10 of 0.9 SUT. F is the design point. Its x coordinate will be expected life in terms of cycles, n number of cycles. So log n to base 10. Stress induced, fatigue stress induced due to fatigue loading will be SF. So log of SF to base 10 is the y coordinate of point F. F is having x coordinate log n to base 10, y coordinate log SF to base 10. Then point D is having x coordinate 3, y coordinate log of AC to base 10. B point is representing the critical point after which the life of the machine part is assumed to be infinite. B coordinate is having x coordinate log to base 10 of 10 raised to 6. So it is 6. 6 is the x coordinate or point B, and y coordinate is log AC to base 10. So noting the coordinates, and now let us employ the principle of similar triangles. The larger triangle ADB and crest of this larger triangle AEF. AEF is the crest of larger triangle ADB. Now these two triangles are similar triangles, and according to principle of similar triangles, the ratio of similar sides will be same. And here in this slide I have mentioned different coordinates of these smaller and larger similar triangles. Now principle of similar triangles is what? Ratio of similar sides will be same. Ratio of similar sides, that means height of smaller divided by height of larger will be, this ratio will be similar as base of smaller divided by base of larger, and that will also be equal to ratio of similar sides, that means hypotenuse of smaller triangle divided by hypotenuse of larger triangle. We are not considered that here, but if you want you can also write that here. Height of smaller divided by height of larger is equal to base of smaller divided by base of larger is equal to hypotenuse of smaller divided by hypotenuse of larger. So base of the height of the smaller is AE, height of the larger is AD, AE upon AD. This ratio will be same as EF upon DP. Base of the smaller divided by base of larger, EF upon DP. That will also be same as AF upon AB. That is hypotenuse of smaller divided by hypotenuse of larger, which we have not considered. If you want, you can write here AF upon AB. Now AE is equal to log of 0.9 SUT minus log of SF. AE is equal to log of 0.9 SUT minus log of SF. AD is the height of the larger triangle is log of 0.9 SUT minus log of AC. Log of 0.9 SUT minus log of AC. Base of the smaller triangle log n to base 10 minus 3, log n to base 10 minus 3, and base of the larger triangle db is equal to 6 minus 3, 6 minus 3. So after simplifying this, let us denote this term log to base 10 of 0.9 SUT as equal to by notation UT, log SF to base 10 by notation capital SF, log AC to base 10 by notation capital AC, log n to base 10 by capital Ln. So UT minus SF divided by UT minus AC, is equal to Ln minus 3 divided by 3. This relation we have already derived in the previous video tutorial also. The same relation will be used in this video tutorial also. Now, as already discussed in previous video tutorial, two type of numericals are possible. One to decide the dimensions, and another to decide the life of the machine part subjected to fatigue stress. Now in this second type, UT, the ultimate tensile strength for the material will be specified, so we shall be in position to calculate UT. Then configuration and arrangement and loading is specified, so we shall be in position to calculate induced fatigue stress SF, and based on that we can calculate capital SF. Using the given data, we shall be in position to calculate endurance limit for the machine part, and based on that we shall be calculating capital AC, log of AC to base 10. So UT, SF, AC will be known to us. In this formula, Ln will be the only unknown. Knowing Ln is equal to log to base 10 of n, where n is the number of cycles, life in terms of number of cycles. So having anti-log of Ln, we can calculate actual number of cycles, life in terms of number of cycles that can be exhibited by the machine part. To clear the idea, let us solve one example wherein we need to find out life of the machine part when all other things are specified. Finite life, of course, machine part will be subjected to completely reverse loading, and hence completely reverse stress will get induced inside the machine part, and life of the machine part will be finite one, that means lesser than 1 million revolution work cycles. And how much that will, that we need to calculate. So here let us see what they have specified. Again, a cantilever beam is specified, rather shaft is specified. The shaft is machined by turning process. The section XX is subjected to constant bending moment 500 kilonewton meter. Directly they have specified bending moment to which this section critical cross section is specified. In the previous video tutorial, by multiplying the applied load with the span of the beam, we had calculated bending moment, but in this case, in the problem statement itself, plus minus 500 kilonewton meter is the bending moment to which this critical cross section is subjected. The shaft material is having ultimate tensile strength SUT is specified as 500. Yield point strength is specified as 350, which is not required. It is surplus data. Additional data they have specified. Endurance limit in bending for 7.5 millimeter diameter specimen is 210 mega Newton per meter square. What is this? I shall be discussing in a short while. The notch sensitivity Q is specified as 0.8. As I have already told you, in your problem statement, in your examination, always they will specify value of Q, the notch sensitivity. You need not worry regarding this value. This will always be specified. The theoretical stress concentration factor can be read from this table, and if required, interpolation can be done for finding out the theoretical stress concentration factor KTI. Also, they have specified size factor, that means KB as 0.75. Reliability expected is 90%. So based on this 90%, we shall be in position to calculate KC, the reliability factor. Now let us discuss what is meaning of this. 7.5 millimeter diameter specimen is the standard specimen which is tested on R.R. Moore's standard rotating beam bending stress fatigue testing machine. So here actually what is the endurance limit for the specimen or endurance limit for the material AC dash, that value is specified as 210. Otherwise AC dash is assumed as 0.5 times SUT, but here they have given us directly value of AC dash. Multiplying AC dash by Ka, Kb, Kc, Kd, we shall be in position to calculate AC, the endurance limit for the shaft itself. But endurance limit for the material of the shaft AC dash, we are directly specified as 210. Up till now, whenever we have solved example, always we have assumed AC dash as equal to 0.5 times SUT. But here, in this particular case, in the given data itself, they have specified value of AC dash. Now let us enlist the given data following our custom of writing on enlisting the given data. SUT as 500 mega Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square is Pascal. So megapascal is nothing but Newton per millimeter square. AC dash is 210 mega Newton per meter square. Again it is AC dash is equal to 210 Newton per millimeter square. Applied bending moment, directly they have specified the bending moment, and it is completely reverse bending moment plus minus 500 kilonewton meter. So to convert kilonewton to newton, we have to multiply by 10 raised to 3. To convert meter to millimeter, we have to again multiply by 10 raised to 3. So 500 into 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to 3, that is 10 raised to 6 Newton millimeter. We need all the dimension in terms of millimeters. That's why we are converting mega Newton, meter, all these terms as in terms of meter. Force will be measured in terms of Newton, and Linear dimensions will be measured in terms of millimeter. We are converting bending moment in terms of Newton millimeter. Notch sensitivity Q is specified as 0.8. Expected reliability is specified as 90%. Also KB, the size factor, they have specified size factor KB is specified as 0.75. That I forget to mention here. Now here endurance limit is 210 for the sharp material. Multiplying this endurance limit for the material by different modification factors Ka, Kb, Kc, Kd, etc., we shall be in position to calculate endurance limit for the shaft itself. So AC will be equal to Ka, Kb, Kc, Kd. AC dash for the material of the shaft, endurance limit is 210. Okay, by mistake I have written 270. It should be 210. For standard, from the standard table, we can identify that for machine steel machine parts, that is in our case they have specified that turning is the manufacturing process for the shaft. Therefore machining is the manufacturing process. If machining is the manufacturing process, then surface finish factor can be assumed as 0.79. From standard table we can read this value. You need not worry, because in your examination value of K will always be specified. Also KB, in this case also they have specified directly as 0.75. Expected reliability they have specified as 90%. From standard table we can read value of Kc, the modification factor for reliability, as equal to 0.897. Now here modification factor for accounting stress concentration is Kd. It is given by 1 upon Kf, where Kf is given as 1 plus Q into bracket Kt minus 1. Q is the notch sensitivity. Always it will be specified. In this case, for this particular example, Q is 0.8. Kt is the theoretical stress concentration factor. In your examination, generally value of Kt will also be specified in the given data. But if not specified, we have to get it calculated from standard table or the chart, or referring standard graph, we have to read value of Kt. In this case, they specified abstract of a standard table wherein value of Kt, theoretical stress concentration factor, for different values of ratio R to D have been specified. R is the fillet radius and D is the diameter of the shaft or diameter of the beam at the shoulder. Now here you can note D is equal to 300 in this case, and radius of the fillet RF at the shoulder is 8 millimeter. So R upon D is 8 upon 300, so it is 0.02667. But in this standard table they are not specified what is the value of Kt for RF. R upon F, R upon D is equal to 0.02667. If value of RF upon D is 0.02667, what is the value of Kt is not specified in this standard table. So here we need to employ the principle of interpolation. We have to interpolate value of RF upon D as equal to 0.026 in between this range of 0.025 to 0.05. So Kt will be in between these two values. So after interpolation, we can calculate value of Kt as equal to 2.5633. Now value of Kt is known to us, value of Q is known to us. So using value of Q and Kt, we can calculate Kf. So Kf in this case is equal to 2.25, and reciprocal of Kf, reciprocal of 2.25 will represent Kd, the modification factor for accounting stress concentration. So in this case, Kd will be equal to 0.443. Now here I have enlisted the known terms. AC dash, that is theoretical stress, sorry, it is the endurance limit for shaft material. In this case it is 210 Newton per millimeter square. Then surface finish factor 0.79, size factor KB 0.75, Reliability factor 0.897 and KD right now calculated KD 0.4443. 0.4443. So putting values of Ka, Kb, Kc, Kd in this formula, AC is equal to Ka multiplied by Kb multiplied by Kc multiplied by Kd multiplied by AC dash. AC dash is 210. So AC, the endurance limit for the shaft is equal to 49.59 Newton per millimeter square. AC is the endurance limit for the shaft. AC dash is the endurance limit for shaft material. Just remember the difference between these two. It is for the machine part itself, whereas it is for material of the machine part. Now in this case, MB, the bending moment for the shaft is specified as 500 into 10 raised to 6 Newton millimeter. Bending stress developed completely reverse, of course, it is plus minus 500. So bending stress developed will be again having value plus minus 32 times MB upon pi d2. MB is 500 into 10 raised to 6 and d cube, d is the diameter is 300, so d cube is 300 cube. So sigma b is equal to plus minus, here I have forgotten to denote plus minus here, sigma b, or it is the fatigue stress induced inside the machine part SF is equal to plus minus 188.63 Newton per millimeter square. Completely reverse stress develop inside the machine part, completely reverse stress develop inside the beam or the shaft is plus minus 188.63. During the half of the work cycle, stress will be tensile nature. Stress will be of tensile nature. During the remaining half work cycle, the stress will be of compressive nature. Now we know that using the part of SN curve, UT is log to base 10 of 0.9 times SUT. SUT is specified in the given data as 500. So UT, value of UT is known to us. AC we have calculated. AC we have calculated. Also SF we have calculated. So AC and SF, using value of AC and value of SF, we can calculate capital AC, capital SF. Life is not known, n is not known, rather we need to calculate value of n. So ln cannot be calculated at this stage. Now we know the formula ut minus sf divided by ut minus sc is equal to ln minus 3 upon 3. Of this formula, the terms ut is known to us, sc is known to us, sf is known to us, only unknown is ln. So in this formula, putting the values, known values, ln is the only unknown. Sorry, here it should be ln. By mistake I have written sf. So ln is equal to 4.1827. But ln is equal to log n to base 10. So n will be equal to anti-log of ln. N will be anti-log of ln. Ln is 4.1827. So anti-log n is equal to anti-log of ln. Ln is 4.1827. So anti-log of 4.1827 is equal to 15,230. So n, the life of the shaft or life of the beam will be equal to 15,230 cycles. This will be of course finite life of the shaft because it is lesser than 1 million cycles. So in this way we can use the formula, the same formula which we had previously used for designing. There ln was, we were in position to calculate ln, and SF was unknown. Using this formula SF was calculated, and based on this SF, that is safe or permissible fatigue stress, we have calculated equating SF with S induced, we had calculated the unknown dimension. But in this case we were knowing the dimensions of the machine part, we are knowing all the terms on left hand side, and only ln was unknown. Ln was calculated, and based on ln, value of life of the machine part in terms of number of cycles was calculated. In this particular case, for the shaft specified in the problem statement, the possible life for the machine part or the shaft will be 15,230 cycles. So in this today's video tutorial, we have discussed how to find out different correction factors if not specified in the given data itself, how to find out endurance limit for the given machine part, what is endurance limit for the material of the machine part, and how to find out endurance limit for the given machine part. And also we have discussed how to find out expected life of the machine part when it is subjected to completely reverse loading, and we are knowing the dimensions of the machine part. So that's all for today's video tutorial. Thank you.